up, gonna be alright. Give it up, gonna be alright. All night, alright. With you, why do you gotta all night, alright. So slow. Give it up, gonna be alright. All night, alright. With you, why do you gotta
I was sad that my team.
all night, alright. So slow. Give it up, gonna be alright. Give it up, gonna be alright. Give it up, gonna be alright. All night, alright. With you, why do you gotta all night, alright. With slow. Give it up, gonna be alright. All night, alright. With you, why do you gotta all night?
I am so okay with everything right now in life. There's nothing possibly more that I could ask for. Nothing that I want to change. Not a single moment. Because we're watching a brilliant game of rugby league football here tonight. Now I honestly will open up with you here. 100% didn't even know who was playing. I've come back from Sydney today, 20 minutes ago, odd. It's been frantic, it's been crazy, and I actually still have a lot of things that I need to set up for this stream to take place, but we're going to try and make it work.
Hey, Leaguie, someone just redeemed a thing.
There's kickoff if you want to sync up with me.
7,767 just redeemed Pepsi Max.
Pepsi Max Sip it is. Thankfully, I did manage to go get a whole big bottle of Pepsi Max, so I will actually be ready for that. But I'm going to need to set that up in a bit. All my audio just never, ever works when the stream first starts, and then I have to do it all manually. Okay. Gotta be so back. How can you call yourself the Leaguie? Copyright reasons. Mostly. Actually, I haven't got it copyrighted, so any of you guys could call yourself the Leaguie and it would be completely fine. Was your dad beefed about the Roosters game yesterday? I have an idea with this, and I only got the half opportunity to set it up before the stream, so I'm going to finish setting it up now. That will essentially talk you through my thoughts on that. Believe me, this is going to be worthwhile once I set it up. What a crowd that's out there, by the way. What a crowd that is out there at New Zealand and in Auckland. And it's a penalty here to start this match off. In fact, it's not going to be. Sorry, I thought they said penalty. They did not say penalty. It's just going to be a lost ball. So, Newcastle ball here. The backgrounds of the two teams on the scoreboard look very, very similar. That is one that I did not really foresee, to be honest, but probably too difficult to change at this point. Let's see. Yeah, just sort of stuck on the hand. The old grip that they wear. was caught out. I couldn't see actually who it was there. It wasn't Hansen. I think it was Leaguie probably. And there's a penalty. So Newcastle getting the rub of the green early on. Afternoon football in Auckland, glorious stuff. It certainly is, especially when it's two teams like this who have so much to play for here today. Wow, okay. Next one's automatic sin bin. Jesus. So this is a break call. I don't know what he means by that. Breaking the scrum, I suppose. That's quite the law that he has just laid down. Adam G. Auckland is a rugby league city. I certainly hope it's a rugby league city. I mean, that's a really nice moment of progression for us if we can say that it is.
This is a rematch of the game where Jackson Ford owned the Knights poverty franchise in round 3.
That it is. That it is. He's still due back, to my knowledge, first week of the finals. So just another brilliant forward addition that they're going to have in their side. What more could you want? Thank you for the $5 as well. And Egg comes through as well. Thanks.
Cowboys in the 8. Newcastle spanked Tottenham. Leaguie is now an anime princess. It's been a good sports week. Nobody mentioned the AL Finals PLS.
It's all happening, by the way. Hoo-ha up the wise. I'm going to assume that is what that username is. Thank you for following. Thank you for the $8, Egg. I was wondering what you meant by I'm an anime girl now, but yeah, technically true. And I will explain that. I got into a bet, gamble responsibly, all that kind of stuff, about whether the Cowboys were going to make the 8 at the start of this season. I thought they were not. Frankly, I thought Buckley's chance of making the 8. And so I said that I would change my Discord profile picture to an anime girl wearing a green suit jacket with my logo on it if they made it. And lo and behold, they made it. I'm just going to test the soundboard because I don't know if it's going to work. I'm going to play the Warriors theme. No, it's not going to work. Okay. That's a beautiful try. What a put down from Fletcher Hunt. If he stayed in the field of play, and they do think he has, Knights score early. Okay, good. My soundboard is working. It's loud, but it is working. That's what matters. Wonderful work there from Newcastle. Look at that Dane Gagai. I mean, age shall not weary them. Talk about it. That is wonderful stuff. Just the tip on. And then Hunt as well. Like, he had so much work to do with the put down. Gets it done easy there. Wonderful stuff. Did the Knights score a try? Yes, they did, Georgie. Yes, they did. My brilliant idea of a little bit of content for this stream. I figured out why it's not working, and I'm gonna set it up now. Did you drink yet? I wasn't paying attention. No, I rarely in my time done a live stream where I have had so many different things that I had to set up beforehand and so little time to do it in. So basically what I did is I got here, like you have to understand, I had to clear this area of my room. I needed to put my blinds down, a blanket over my blinds. I had to plug everything into my laptop. Everything here is connected. It's crazy wiring work. Wi-Fi wasn't working. I had to get the suit out of my bag, get the shirt on, all sorts. So I set up the basics pretty much. And then now I'm setting up all the other peripheral things as Sanders Smith misses that one. So it's 4 points to 0 to start off this game. Hello, Mr. Legal Advice. Any advice for divorce? I'm pretty sure you're not married. All due respect to you. So, is that something that's going to be relevant? That said, no, not really, other than get a lawyer. Have you eaten today? Thankfully, yes. Otherwise, I would have been in some real trouble for this one. Let's say that, given that it's a 4-hour stream. So nice early start there for Newcastle. I mean, not going to be singing each other's praises just too early yet, but it's something. It's something. Okay, I have added one new sound to the soundboard. I have added 2 new sounds to the soundboard. Let's see if they work.
I was sad that my
Yes,
team-
they do. Okay, good. So I'm going to call upon them when they are relevant. Oh, guys, how can we watch the game for free live? I do not know. Not my thing. Right. We so locked in. We are locked in. We're here. We're focused. It's fine. My room is a complete total mess right now, but there is no stress about that. I'm gonna just move the camera for a sec. Yeah, so I often joke that Jacob Laban's a terrorist because you could say his name, Jacob Taliban, and the Taliban are obviously a terrorist organization. But he has committed an act of terrorism to his hair. One moment. Okay, time for some ASMR. I'm going to pour an absolutely, frankly, monstrous amount of Pepsi into my water bottle here. I don't know if this is the thing at all Coles's, or Woolworths even. But I have noticed that in my local Coles here in Canberra Centre, the normal full price of a bottle of 1.25 litre Pepsi Max is $4, which I think is decently high. I never buy it at full price. I always wait for the discounts. So 1.25 litres for $4. And yet, the price of a 2 litre bottle is $3.80. So you get, you know, like, I don't know the numbers, 50, 60% more Pepsi. In fact, more than that. Definitely more than that. For a lower price. Seems weird. Wires recover the ball here. By the way, I love their jersey. It blends into the ground too much, unfortunately. But they do not miss these days. That is an absolutely stunning jersey that they've put together. Have they worn it before this season? Because I saw them doing social media promo around it. But I feel like I recognize it, kind of. Are you on your full license or your Ps? I am on neither. I'm on my Ls, brother. Aaron Clark. I just don't drive anywhere. And I don't have a car, so I can't get the hours up. Egan. In a dummy half here. On the third, halfway through this set, the terrorist Jacob Laban hits it up. Will be standing just over the goal line. In fact, Newcastle did something clever there. They sort of carried him into the in-goal area. Although, could have been the other way. Could have been the other driving force, because I do know that teams like attacking with a bit more space. Egan, to the left-hand side. Cleary, which is a weird-ass name to commentate at this kind of juncture. Finding Mitch Barnett, who plays it. Egan, now for Cleary. Puts it up in the air underneath. It's a good catch there from Fletcher Hunt. Very, very good work. Nice defense there from Newcastle. First defensive test passed there by the Novocastrians. Weird to see Luke Hanson in jersey 22, Jet Cleary in jersey 23 as the halves. Amazing. Aren't you over 18? I thought you should have your Ps after you turn 18. I am over 18. I wasn't 18 when I lived in Australia, though. Sorry, I wasn't living in Australia when I turned 18, though. But you don't have to. You can. You don't have to. Can get faster if you do driving instruction lessons because more hours for less driving. Yep. No, I'm aware. But then also, I think when you hit 24 or something, 24 or 25, you could just take the test. And honestly, that's probably what I'm angling towards. It's going to be a penalty there given away by Jet Cleary. Again, to the Newcastle Knights. They're having it all here early. Could you drive in the Netherlands? No. No.
Hey, Leaguie, someone just redeemed a thing.
Money God 164 yet just redeemed changed the background color. Red and gold as Finns are winning the premiership. I have ball knowledge unlike Leaguie. I hit the gritty for you. You should have seen it.
Well, yeah, that's rubbing it in, isn't it, mate? Thank you very much. I'm so pleased about this situation that I've currently got a Dolphins-ish background. Unfortunately, that's as red and yellow as I can get, which is basically just yellow. Oh, hang on. Let's see if I can make it more red. Yeah, that's as red as I can get. It doesn't work at the best of times, and it works even worse when it's 2 p.m. and so it's super bright outside. Fletcher Sharp has just come up with something wonderful there. Oh my days, Newcastle are cooking. They are going hard, they are going Knights, and they are going proud. Holy guacamole, here's the Pepsi Max that was redeemed. Ah, that is hot. It's been a couple of Fletchers. Just absolutely cooking so far in this game. All Newcastle. All Newcastle. Petition for Leaguie to get better background lights. Are you prepared to pay for them? Given that I'm moving at the end of this year, I'm not really going to bother until then. I'm going to have a completely different setup at the bank. Not the best start from Junior Chin, unfortunately, no. Being a bit rough to start for Jet. We'll say, really good song. Jet, Paul McCartney. Look it up. Or Wings. It will probably come up as being by Wings, not Paul McCartney. But anyway, Paul McCartney was in Wings. But 10 minutes gone, you know? 10 minutes gone. God damn, that is impressive. The Manu Leleua fans. Goal there, Newcastle. Damn. This is quite the statement. Quite the statement of a start here. They're finally pronouncing Manu Leleua correctly. Not Manu Leilua. No, it's not Leleua. It's Manu Leleua. Leleua. That's ironic, but it is. Manu Leleua. Not Leilua. I'm disappointed Jet has signed with Penrith and not the Gold Coast or Cronulla. Why on earth would he have signed for the Gold Coast or Cronulla? Nice kick return there from Fletcher Hunt. He's had intent here. Not even passed it to a big forward there. Madsen says, remember what I said tonight. Oh, okay, that's a music lyric, isn't it? You might have me there. It rings a faint bell. I think it's not the night before. I don't think. Remember what I said tonight. Interesting. No, I don't think I know that. Well, I would. If it's the Beatles, I would know it. It's just not coming to mind. Anyway. So played there. Harrison Graham finds Sanders Smith, puts it high up in the air on the last. Underneath that one, solid catch by Teen 12 Piki. Don't tell me the answer here because it's ringing a bell and I think it will come to me, Madsen. All right. Hanson's in a dummy half here. Played there by Dimitri Vaimonga. Oh, that's a hit and a rugby league half by Safidi, who immediately put his hands up. This could be something here, folks, because this was big. This was very, very big. The juggle made it look maybe a bit worse than it really was, but Leaguie is down. He is down for the count. Holy guacamole. Bang. Oh, that shoulder right to the head. This could be a send-off. This could legitimately be a send-off. This game might have just turned on its head. Shoulder to head. Oh, yeah. This. It's going to be 10 at least. At least. The Auckland fans want him gone. They want him walking. He's being called out here. Loliti still being on the ground, I think is going to make this a send-off rather than a sin bin. It's going to be a send-off. Holy! Well, folks.
Oh, what about that? Send him off! Send the drifting gate off! Get him off the field! That was diabolical! That was absolute diabolical!
Has this happened before? It must have happened on my streams, right? That there has been a send-off. But I feels like I continually miss send-offs when I'm streaming. It's always the games when I'm not streaming that there is a send-off. Holy guacamole. Oh, wow. For the second time in Leaguie history. There we go. So it's happened once before. God damn. Righto. Okay, well, I was singing the praises of the Newcastle Knights to start this game, and they were doing well, but that has all just changed. They now are a man down for the rest of this game. Holy heckers. Changes everything. Everything. Don't leave Canberra, Pookie. I want to see you at Raiders games more. So do I. I'd much rather stay in Canberra than leave. Trust me. But job opportunities being what they are, I'm going up to Sydney. At least for the start of my career. Holy. Lily says, first time seeing a send-off in a leg-based stream, kind of nervous. I'm kind of nervous that my red line will stay there beyond 10 minutes. I hope it does. It should. Halasima, God, he's done well there. Now in the hands of Jet. Cleary on the last. Puts a boot to boards. Being chased by Jacob Laban, who can't come down with it, but Sharp has knocked that on. It's going to be... Oh, okay, they're going to roll a changeover. Jeez, I thought... Must have been Laban to start. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. LC Albert has bombed to try it. That is a shame. Sorry to hear that. Leaguie 30-26, by the way, in NRLW. Or is that your prediction for this? Lecker is incredible. Incredible. Yeah, unfortunately not 30-26 in the NRLW. It's 30-0 after 30 minutes in the NRLW. Jada Ferguson, according to NRL.com, scored for the Broncos in the 0th minute. Crazy. Oh, the Tampa and LA score. Yes, true as well. Actually, yeah. No, I did see that. Unlucky. Bradman Best with it. Nice offload there to find Greg Marju. He's done well to find space, given that they're a man down here. Couldn't quite find Sharp inside him. Probably held the ball a little bit too long for that anyway. Does force an attacking opportunity here on the last. Harrison Graham finds Caleb Ponga. There's room around them. Oh, beautiful step. My God. Out of absolutely nothing, a man down. Newcastle get another, and the crowd out there in Auckland is silent. Well, last night I had the absolute displeasure of seeing a top 4 team capitulate in front of my eyes. And I'm not quite saying that that's what's happening here, but it doesn't feel entirely dissimilar. Because this is just every time Newcastle go down New Zealand's end, bang, try time. Holy moly, Knights are tearing through the wires. They really are. They really, really are. Who are the Roosters NRL? I only know about the Roosters NRLW. Yeah, that's how I feel for the rest of this season. Knights Nation is happy about it, and why wouldn't they be? Because I kind of thought, okay, we're basically going to see the Warriors come back into this now, immediately. If Newcastle can get the next try, have a 20-point lead, they could honestly, in some respects, not quite shut up shop, that's not the right word, but basically sit back a little bit, play more conservatively, just get into a grind for the rest of the game, and back themselves to defend a 20-point lead, even though they are a man down. It's amazing. At least you guys got finals. Raiders didn't. Yeah, but this is the thing that I very often tell people about supporting a good team and supporting a bad team. Who scored it was Jermaine McEwen, Newcastle. When you support a team that everyone expects to win all the time, and your team wins, you're not massively celebrating. You're like, okay, good, we won. It's more you're relieved. And when you lose, it hits you like an absolute freight train. When you support a team that's at the bottom of the ladder, and your team loses, you're like, okay, it sucks, but that's what everyone thought was going to happen. When your team wins, it's just, you know, absolute euphoria. As I got to experience last year with the Roosters being a distinctly mid-table team, I kind of liked it in the sense that when we won, I was very happy. When we lost, I was very sad. That feels like the way that it's supposed to be. So, yeah, obviously I'm glad that the Roosters got finals, but that wasn't the pass mark. That wasn't the standard. That wasn't worth celebrating. So, yeah, anyway. Thoughts on Sam Limper, which I want to trademark as my joke because I came up with that. You actually unknowingly have given me my first opportunity to use one of my 2 new sound bites. So take it away, former me. I was sad that my team lost a very important game yesterday night.
I was sad that my team lost a very important game yesterday night.
Damn it. That wasn't supposed to play that one. It was supposed to play a different one. I'll play the one it was supposed to play in a sec. That's hilarious. Oh wait, I've got. Okay, what it was supposed to. I'll set it up. It's gonna actually take me a sec. That's really annoying. That's the other of the two. I had a feeling that wasn't gonna work. Anyway, whatever. 22 minutes left in this first half. Yesterday night? Yes, yesterday night. I was sad that my team lost a very important game yesterday night. Sorry, that was so loud. I'm going to turn that right the hell off. I do apologize. Oh, that's dreadful. That's dreadful from me. I'm so sorry. That was super loud. Are Tottenham really 20th in the Premier League? Jesus Christ, really? Okay, Warriors on the attack here on the 4th. Can Knights do it again? At the moment, it's certainly looking like it. Torpiki with it. He just holds the ball. I will not play it that loudly again. I forgot to turn off the audio source before doing that. Labour with it. He's got space in front of him. Bang. They are back in this one. Well, faith is something that they haven't had much of to start this game, but they will be buoyed by the fact that they are obviously a man up, that they will be a man up for the rest of this game, and Laban has done well there to get through. Very, very well to get through there. Love that. Ponga just couldn't do anything about it. With that amount of space close to the line, realistically, he probably wasn't going to be stopped. I like how they switched the play going back the other way. Don't know what he's done with his hair still, and I am going to lament that fact, but damn. My brother in Christ has had a good season. He's had a very, very good season. So, kick to come here for the New Zealand Warriors to go back within 10 points. I'm really surprised that Tottenham are once again in 20th. They have made so many good signings. Maybe it's just a side that needs to gel a bit more, but like, damn. That's tragic. Okay, I'm going to get to play the soundbite now. Here we go.
I am sad that my team's star halfback is out for the rest of the season.
I forgot the song. I didn't forget the song. The sound was muted. I mean, if you really want to hear it. I had to do that to avoid... can I say the R word? I think I can. Ear raping you again. Alright. Torpiki hits it. And he misses that one. Money God, I'm not going to read that out purely because I have a policy of not reading out brain rot. Yeah, just a personal preference. Holy, they're really tearing into Laban. He's getting flamed. He's getting absolutely flamed by everyone. Karma? Karma? Wait, karma for what? What did I do? But yes, basically, I was walking back to my place and I thought, okay, we're going to have an entire stream of people asking me about the Roosters-Dolphins game last night and about my thoughts on Sam Walker's injury. So rather than just explain it every time, I would go,
I was sad that my team lost a very important game yesterday night.
or
I am sad that my team's star halfback is out for the rest of the season.
scoreboard is wrong, Tiger. That's a very good point. You can have water. That's a throwback inside reference. Okay. I feel reasonably locked in now. Now I've actually got everything working. Reasonably. But I would like to lament the fact that I'm having truly one of the most head spinny days you can imagine. And last night I was in licorice all sorts. After streaming for 4 hours today, so I've got up on about 5 hours of sleep, tried to sleep on the bus, kind of couldn't. I need to go do well-being calls on residents who don't want me to call them, and then meet up with some friends later to plan a trip. Ponga with a catch there, but it's going to be penalty here to the Waz. Do you sense the momentum changing here? How nasty was Marshall King's dummy? Yeah, not good. Wasn't
Hey,
pleased.
Leaguie, someone just redeemed a thing.
Catanellerberg just redeemed changed the background color. Blau.
Blau. Orange Dragons for Wooden Spoon in 2027. You reckon, Tigers? I mean, I'm inclined to say no. Only because this team exists. But, you know, probably the easy pick as well at times. Jet Cleary with it. Oh, he forced the issue there. Did he? No, he held the ball. And it's going to be a penalty to the Warriors for a tackle off the ball on Wade Egan. Feels a little bit harsh, that one. It is from right in front, but I don't think there's any temptation to take the 2 here. Leaguie Barrel scored in Newtown's 50-16 win over Para. They're now locked into 4th. Good stuff. How are the Roosters and New South Wales Cup side doing? I know we were like kind of making a bit of a run to the finals, but... Fisher Harris does get an offload away here. Jet Cleary stepping. Can't quite get to the line, but he's bloody close. Very, very close. We'll play it here. Wade Egan, the man in at dummy half, finds Aaron Clark. Dummies, goes himself. Oh, he's close here. You just get the sense Newcastle are holding on by a thread. Warriors look likely every time they run the ball. Egan dummies. Speaking of dummy halves, throws it that time, and it's the easiest Wilds try you will see. Damn. Well, yeah, momentum has well and truly shifted, folks. Look, that will happen when a send-off takes place. Newcastle did manage to get a try early on in the send-off period. Is that what you defined it as? But it's all been Warriors since. It has all been Warriors since. Wires could very well lose this. Too many key injuries to weather. The other team, quite literally, has had a player sent off in, what was it, the 18th minute? 12th minute. The Wires would not have an excuse to lose this. That might be a bit harsh. They really, really, really shouldn't lose it, though. So, you know. Roosters finished 6th, eliminated as a result of Warriors' 10-all draw with Knights early today. That's devastating. So, Roosters men obviously got trounced yesterday. Roosters New South Wales Cup got eliminated. The LA Roosters lost the grand final. Oh, yeah, it's good times. I'm yeah. Loving it. Call me Mac is the way I'm loving it. Not sponsored or anything. Leaguie history says when premiers are near the... Oh. Thank you, Kat. Sorry, I'll read out the rest of your comment in a sec, Lily. Thank you so much, Kat. 5 months that you've been subscribed to this channel on Twitch. Much appreciated. Thank you for your support. And thank you for always making me change the background color to blue. I think it's the best color that my lights are capable of doing. So I appreciate that. History says when premiers are near the bottom mid-season, the most recent team they beat in the grand final that's in finals will win the comp. Bronx beat Storm 25 and 06. So who they beat in 2000 will win. No. That is reaching, brother. Or sister. That is reaching. Reaching. Damn. Haas had 3 games experience between them. All our starting wingers plus our debuting winger off injured. What are you on about? A send-off is what I am on about. As I said, I'd take back my statement that they don't have any excuse to lose this game. But they really shouldn't lose this game. When you have a man up for 70 of the 80 minutes of the game, you should be winning that game. That is a simple fact of reality. So, yeah. Cleary puts the ball up in the air, underneath it. Good catch there, Greg Marju. Nothing wrong with that. Play on. Are you prepared to become an anime god? So, to be clear, I'm not becoming an anime god. My profile picture is, but... And only on Discord. But... Actually, I'm not. I haven't... I'm going to be honest, it is not a priority for me right now. I have so many things in my life going on. I promise you, I will do it, and I will do it for a month at some stage. But right now, it's not on my to-do list. So, yeah. Ninja, if you want me to change the terms of the deal, you're gonna have to negotiate that with Sea Phantom. We will win, but with all the injuries we have, if we win, even a man up is an accomplishment. It's good for sure. It's good. Were Warriors favorites in this game? I don't know, but yeah, it's you know, it's worth celebrating for sure. But I do think a send off is just huge, in my opinion. All right, 6 more there for the Wires. They have a full attacking set ahead of them here. Knights are a shambles now after their fast start. I mean, they'd be so tired. They've had to do so much defending here. Bradman Best can't get to Tane Torpiki. It's another set restart there, I think. The tackle count's gone off the screen, so I'm going off... Yes, it is the 0 tackle. I'm going off what I heard NMG say there. Jet Cleary, short ball there. Kate Ball won't quite get to the line. He's close. Played there. Now in the hands of Jet Cleary. Aaron Clark gets close. And I think he's got there. He's surely got there. Aaron Clark celebrates it. And Aaron Clark is awarded it. And it's about to be level pegging. Damn. I've just got a Twitch notification saying Hype Train started. I don't know what that is. I'm aware that it's a thing on Twitch. If it started, I didn't do anything. So, whatevs. Don't bother, honestly. Adam G looks like Keir Starmer. He kind of does. I do agree with that. They've got the similar hair. Not really a similar face. It is just the hair. But yes. They're loving it. Loving it. If Aaron Clark was non-binary, would he be called they, them, therein Clark? Therein is one of my favorite words in the dictionary, so I love that it's got a mention there, even though it's not really, you know, the traditional way of using that word. So I'm going to say yes vehemently, absolutely. Love that. It is subs/bits, so that feels just like so this is another thing live streamers doing. I mentioned this a few times. They'll have something up in the corner, which is like a subscriber goal or a donation goal. Oh my god, how little do you value the intelligence of your viewers? Seriously? Do you know what? Like, that could never sit right with me. Being like, oh, we've got a goal to get to this number of subscribers. Let's get there together, chat. Obviously, it's just a way of trying to extort more, extract more subscriptions or followers or donations from your audience. It's so blatant. It's scumbag behavior. So I don't know if a hype train is, oh, let's get as many subs/bits. I specifically want you guys in protest to not give me any subs or bits throughout this period. Genuinely. Wow, put a train in front of them and everyone goes, brrr, you know what I mean? But number go up, Leaguie. People need number go up. I mean, that's what it's based on, and apparently I guess it works, but yeah, no, not my thing. To be fair, those streamers' viewers have no intelligence, maybe. It's stuff like that. Tolga, thank you for following. I hope you didn't do it as part of the hype train, though. Appreciate it. Yeah, I definitely could grow more if I did that stuff. I do think that, but I'd rather do content my way. A YouTube donation's fine. I mean, I guess it's not part of the hype train, but sure. It's not going to make a number go up that's on screen if that's what you're worried about. I didn't put a poll up. No. Well, okay. By the way, there's a new thing they've added on YouTube, sorry. Start a community goal for super chats. Anyway. I guess the other thing, and like it would show up in the chat and all that. I'm gonna put up a poll now, even though there's not really much point. The other thing is, like, especially if it was, like, I've got a slightly older live stream audience than most streamers would, but most would be an average age of like 13 to 15. I reckon. And so you're putting it in front of kids, and kids are the ones who are more likely to want to see number go up. You know what I mean? So yeah, it feels a little bit like you're playing into the lack of, I guess, lack of intelligence of kids. I think that's fair to say. To try and get money out of them. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I don't like it.
Hey, Leaguie, someone just redeemed a thing.
Okay.
C_Phantom just redeemed Pepsi Max Sip.
Poll is now up on YouTube. For those who want to all vote that the Warriors are going to win this game, because that is definitely what's going to happen. Eggman, Cast Patrol are out to get us. They made 27-0 impossible. Then they jinxed Sammy's injury by saying Hugo Savala isn't playing the right position by playing center. How rude of them. I saw them yesterday. I didn't meet them. Met up with a lot of content creators yesterday, though, at the SC Playbook event, which was so cool.
Hey, Leaguie, someone
Lots
just
of the bloke in a
redeemed
bar
thing.
boys.
X3 Ninja 7767 just redeemed changed the background color. Do red for Knights having a player sent off, ha 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 ha.
Okay. And actually, I regret, I saw like Matty the Waterboy, Rugby League Guru, Tom Yeager, Timmy from SC Playbook, SC Skipper was another one. Oh, that's the color of that one not changing. Oh, there we go. It just ends up looking brown. Oh, wait. No, it looks brown because the one behind me turned off. There we go. I regret not saying to Matty the Waterboy that I want to do international content with Bloke if possible. But anyway, whatever. Who's being sent off? Safidi. In the 12th minute. Set a super chat goal of $1. You know what? That's actually pretty funny. That's absolutely funny enough. Goal amount. Oh, well, it's... I can't set up an amount goal. I can set up a one super chat goal. And how I'll celebrate it. I have to put in something about how I'll celebrate if we hit the goal. If we hit the goal of one super chat, what should I do? I will, play the good boy soundbite. There we go. I've started the goal officially on YouTube. Alrighty. My Penrith bro fan reckons Warriors need to win by 14 points. Is he right? Not really. There is next week. I think Penrith is still going to get the minor premiership anyway. A lot of Warriors fans were like having a go at me because my prediction was that Penrith would outscore the Warriors in the last 3 rounds. I still think Penrith are going to put an absolute cricket score on the Tigers next week. So that's really what's going to matter. Warriors just need to keep winning. Even though they don't need to. We lost. So yeah. There's not a lot of pressure on them. Leaguie, how depressed are you that the Roosters lost? I was sad that my team lost a very important game yesterday night. Whoa!
For your new lights. Also, chooks are cooked.
Chooks. Yeah, well, thank you. I mean, new lights won't be coming until next year anyway, but cheers. Appreciate it. And yes, we unfortunately are cooked. My thoughts on that would be, I was sad that my team lost a very important game yesterday night. It's funny, the chat goal is really specific, so it didn't actually get fulfilled by that, because I set it to be a light blue chat, which is $1 to $2. But Mario's one was $8, so it actually didn't fulfill the super chat goal. YouTube is weird like that, I guess. Apparently, I didn't hit the goal. Ninja, so... Hobbs says, sorry, mate, I'm having a couple. You feel free, brother. You do whatever you want to do. That's no stress. No skin off my back. Just do it. No, it didn't fulfill the goal. I don't know what to say. Pass there to Greg Marju. Got a bit of room to work with here. They're chasing it through. They might actually score a try here, Newcastle. Bradman Best is not quite claiming that one. It's going to be Laban, I think, who got there just about. Okay, really interesting one here from Adam G, saying that Best has got there first, but he grounded it short. Scam? YouTube's a scam, Ninja, not me. Not me.
Well, that's why you get the big bucks, baby.
There we go.
That's why you get the big bucks.
Marination in it.
The goal is complete. It says the goal is complete. Thanks to participants that the Leaguie just achieved the goal. And the goal was to play the good boy soundbite.
Good boy. 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 Good boy.
Oh, that's good. That's good gear. Thank you, Ollie. No try it is, so it remains 16 all. Nice. Mr. Duck, I did not see that incident. Are you just trying to get me to say the, say the funny meme number? Thank you, Lorenzo. Much appreciated. Well, hang on. WTF said bad boy there, and that's not on. That's absolutely not on. That's not what we do here. All right, I'm gonna time you out for 30 seconds. Hey!
You get the big bucks, baby. That's why you get the big bucks.
How often do teams win with a player off? The only one I can think of is when Para beat the Cowboys 62-0 in 01 with 12 men for 50 minutes. I only remember that because of the absurdity of the scoreline.
That is an absolutely absurd scoreline. Very, very good question, and thank you for the $10 as well. You certainly didn't have to donate $10 to ask that. Let me think. I mean, send-offs are obviously exceedingly rare anyway, but there's also the fact of like when they come in a game. Like, a send-off can happen with 20 minutes to go, and it's not really... It doesn't mean that the entire game was played with that send-off, you know what I mean? It's a big issue with soccer, where, like, a team will get a send-off in the 90th minute, and the headline will be, Chelsea beat 11-man Arsenal. Even though for the vast majority of the game, that wasn't the case. So, yeah, I don't know. Warriors just got to try here, by the way, and I am going to keep thinking about this. Beautiful work for Dimitri Vaimonga. Number 16 scores. It was 16 points apiece, but he puts them 4 ahead. There was a game earlier. It's like 2020. No, not even 2020s. 2018-ish. Where it was Storm and Seagulls, and I think Storm won with Curtis Scott being sent off. Dylan Walker was sin bin. They punched each other. I think. Anyway. LC Albert dropped it over the line again. Well, you must be pretty pleased about that situation. Anyway. All teams are 11 men. Sorry. 10 men. 10 men is what I meant. And soccer. Do another goal for one super chat, and the reward is playing the Fafita thing for the rest of the stream. No. I could do it for one super chat for like $5,000, and I'll play the Fafita thing for the rest of the stream. I'd do it for $5 actually. Nearly would have been Queensland in State of Origin in Game 1 this year, winning with a send-off. But anyway, Holy Red Line for 2026 Origin bench warmer Jacob Safidi. You just had to end that with Batman and it would have been wonderful. 22 points to 16. I just think that the rest of this game is going to play out exactly the way that it has since the send-off, really. Legman, would you rather see the Netherlands win the Rugby League World Cup in stadium, or see the Roosters beat South in the grand final convincingly in stadium after losing to South in finals week 1 in Golden Point? Netherlands winning the Rugby League World Cup by a considerable margin. I would rather see the Netherlands win one World Cup, one Rugby League World Cup, to be clear, than see the Roosters win 4 premierships in a row. Easily. Would not be a question in my mind. Yes, good point, Lorenzo. I did definitely forget about that. I'll talk about it at halftime. So, 3 minutes left in this first half. Keatwell hits it up over the 20. Thomas Cant there with the tackle, as well as Jermaine McEwen. Now in the hands of Vaimunga, the try scorer. Round 9 2022, Sharks and Wires, Kennedy sent after 16. Was that for a close hagger tackle on Reece Walsh? I vaguely remember this. It's been... So, yeah, Kennedy sent off after 16, Ramian and Bind after 53. Sharks won 29-20. Wires, only 2 tries came within the first 5 minutes of Kennedy being gone. I think if it was the close hanger try of Reece Walsh, and I remember that. Leaguie, who are you going for in Sharks versus Parramatta? Parramatta. It's, you know, I don't want the Roosters to finish 5th. But, yeah. That's cool stuff, Ninja. I hope you're enjoying your time playing that game. It was for a dangerous tackle, just reading the NRL website play-by-play. Okay. My memory was a close hanger on Walsh. But anyway, it could be. Could be. 6 more here for Newcastle. There's a chance they could, you know, just nab one back here quickly before halftime. We've got a player down here, Francis. He's in some serious trouble here. He's grabbing his elbow. This isn't good. This is not good. My hair is not having a good day. Admittedly, it's because I've been sleeping on the side of a bus window all day, so... As a Sharks fan, I want Roosters to finish 5th. That makes sense. Yes. I'm sure you do. I'm not with you on that, though. He's really not in a good way. Francis? Please play the Fafita song, My Ears Need to Be Blessed. I don't know. There's no Fafitas playing today. Now, admittedly, I didn't stream the game yesterday where the Fafitas were taking the field. But I don't know. Is Manu eligible for Tonga or Samoa? I take it you mean Francis Manu Leleua, not Joseph Manu. Joseph Manu is not eligible for either. He's eligible for the Cook Islands, though. Francis Manu Leleua, based on nothing but my knowledge of Tongan and Samoan surnames, he would be eligible for Samoa. Did we see the Arrow tribute? I did. I didn't get to watch it live, but I saw the vision of it. So Ninja says add O Simi Sasangi as a soundboard option. That's a very specific soundboard option. Only reason why it's difficult to do is because you have to get the audio of it, and that can be really difficult to get good audio of something like that. So do it for the David Fafita legacy performance. He did do very well, actually. I'll give you that. That's a good point. You're not wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong. Okay, I'll play it. 3, 2, 1. No. Baited. Brother got baited. Yeah, Francis is being driven off in a medicab here. This is dreadful. This is absolutely dreadful. Not what you want to see here. They're not even showing him coming off the field. They're showing people in the crowd because of how bad it might be. Oh, boy. Leaguie needs to buy grand final tickets already. I have grand final tickets. I bought them the day they came out. Holy. Leaguie, will you dye your hair red, white, and dark blue if the Roosters win the premiership? I've wanted to dye my hair green for content at some point, so I'd sooner do that probably. 6 more there. Close to the line here are the Newcastle Knights. I'm going to read Uswards. message. Festival Bombers beat North Tigers 34-20. Henry Stocks didn't end up playing, but Billy McConaughey did. Oh, I love Billy McConaughey. McConaughey? So it's a somewhat surprising result. Happy for the Festival Bombers. Back to Ponga. Now in the hands of Fletcher Sharp. There's scattered Warriors around the middle of the field. Marshu tackled there. 1 minute left in this first half here. Who's injured on which team? Francis Manu Leleua for Newcastle. Harrison Graham will have a go himself, but he is no way Egan, unfortunately. Won't get to the line that time. Now in the hands of Sharp. On for Sanders Smith. Ponga gets it to Gagai. Beautiful work. And an easy try scored there for Fletcher Hunt. I tell you what. They're gonna have a kick to level us up heading into the halftime break. That was lovely. Knights get another overlap with 12. They do. They do. And it's through Dane Gagai's quick passing, creating the final pass there. It was wonderful work. Drew in 2 players. Look at that. Knights are still dangerous. They are. They are. The game's not done. I don't think they will go on and win this, but the game's not done. Okay, there's a hell of a message here from C. Phantom. One of the biggest messages I think I've ever seen from anyone in my chat. Here we go. How much in a dono for you to fly to a small town in Thailand, get accepted by their people, learn the language, train in Muay Thai for a year and a half, fight in the tournament, win the tournament, return to USA and join the UFC, stay in shape and go undefeated in your weight class, retire and do an interview saying this donation was the reason you fought so hard? $2.99. This has been such a good half. It has been. But it's also been an obscenely high scoring half. We have also just seen 42, potentially 44 if he kicks this, which he does not. 42 points scored in 40 minutes of football. Like, we are very much getting into the territory of just like, points. And then you don't get the, then you do get people saying that points are worth nothing anymore. It's just, ping pong league, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's a big thing. I am very amazed, and I want to praise Newcastle here for the way that they have stayed in this. Oh, for the way that they have stayed in this game as much as they have, even with the send off.
I'll see you in Thailand.
All right. See you guys. I forgot one thing. I can't be asked. I was kind of excited, but then I realized that I couldn't be asked actually in the end. Sorry, there's no chair there. I mean, I kind of flicked it away. The angle of my camera is a bit off. There we go. Okay, I'm going to have a quick chat about something here, folks. So, I've got... I think... I know every content creator would say this, but I think I've got one of the best communities that I've seen any content creator have. It is, for a rugby league community, pretty big, and yet just really, really good. Everyone that's in it is a fundamentally, positively contributing person. I know the Discord in particular is a big part of that. It's a great way that I get to interact with you guys. You get to interact with each other. I love to see it. A lot of the Discord community is quite young, and I want to draw attention to the fact that there's a bit of a common theme. I'm glad I've been able to foster this environment, but there's quite a lot of young people in my Discord who have really opened up about their struggles, who aren't doing okay, really aren't doing okay. And very often these people will come to me and message me and ask for advice or open up, and I'm obviously, I welcome that. I'm not trained in what to say. I'm really, I'm not one to be giving out advice in a situation like that because I've never experienced it. But I guess just I'll do my whatever small part I can in saying check in on someone, because I find it, as like I say, as much as I think it's good that they feel comfortable enough to come to me, I think it's insane a little bit that these people who find themselves in these situations, these kids who find themselves in these situations, come to a footy YouTuber with not a great deal of life experience for that advice. I guess it's kind of a sign that, others who maybe would be more equipped aren't doing their part there. So yeah, I guess that's basically all I would have to say on that matter. Basically. It's half time? Yes, it is. It is half time. 22 points to 20. If you're in this situation, go to Matt Galaxy, not Legman. Yes! Definitely do that. Well, I actually, legitimately, though, he would be better equipped than me. But yeah, I mean, as I say, don't stop, talking to me about it. I often can't really help, but I try. Yeah, as I say, it's just, you would think that it's people in your personal life that should be checking in on you. And so, as we are people in other people's personal lives, check in. Who's winning? I can't be asked, so I'll just put the score back on the board. There we go. Newcastle had Safidi sent off in the 12th minute. Thoughts on betting odds for yesterday's Sharks v Roosters NRLW game being Roosters $1.18 or something like that compared to Sharks $34. It was $1.01, Roosters. Sharks being 34 was huge, and obviously it had a good go of it. It was like 12-6 at halftime. So, yeah. Mario says, everyone needs to keep their ears open for things like this. Too many friends of mine are gone. You Sword says, I personally recommend Lifeline in this situation. I've signed up to raise money for them through the Out of Shadows walk. So I'm walking 17 kilometers in a couple of weeks in support. Good on you. That's great stuff. I'm really glad you're doing that. And I very often refer people to that number. Because, yeah, those, again, are people who are trained, who have the experience, who can help out. For the match review video yesterday from the Roosters match, what did those boys at the start say to you? I think just Leaguie. They just recognized me out there on the field, which was sick. I kind of thought, okay, I'll just edit that out of the video, and I did a little bit, but it was fun to keep in. Donna Bartolo, I do remember you. You always come in and say, do you remember me? Yes, I specifically remember you because you always come in and say, do you remember me? Who you tipping? In this game, I tip Was. Next game, I would tip Sharks. As someone who's had mental struggles myself, seeking professionals really helped me a lot. And I just want to thank the Leaguie and the community for all of their support. I appreciate whatever small part my community was able to play in that. But yeah, I know there's a lots of, I guess, hesitance to go to a senior figure. As I said, I've been lucky enough to be a very just mentally headstrong person who's never substantially struggled with that stuff. But even I, picturing myself in that situation, would be like, I don't really want to burden someone else with it. I bet people would rather be burdened. And there are honestly people who'd like the feeling of helping out. So in some respects, you're doing them a bit of a favor. So, yeah. Now everyone's asking, do you remember me? I've actually got amnesia, so I don't remember anything. I don't even remember who's playing this game. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know who I am. Absolutely not a clue. Do you think Walker might get locked down now that he won't really have anything else to do for the rest of the season? It's more likely, and that's the one silver lining for the Roosters, in my opinion, in this entire situation, because I think since the whole... Little Tiger, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. Much appreciated. Glad to have you here. After the contract talk stalled, there wasn't really much in terms of his personal form that justified the price tag, and now he's out injured. If he had gone on and won the comp, I still would have, that's a tremendously positive thing, and we should throw the bag at him if that was the way that it played out. But he will probably now re-sign on less money. So, you know. Wow, there are a lot of comments here. I lost a very close friend. She genuinely meant the world to me, and I'm gonna be honest, it's really tough to take. I don't know if that sounds selfish, but the only thing I could say, ask for help, people care about you. That's not selfish whatsoever. It's touching, and I'm very sorry to hear that you went through that, genuinely, legitimately. There's no words I can say now that can help that situation at all, but no one should have to go through that. But it's a lesson, not for you, but for others, in the fact that people would rather you lean on them a bit, but be there, rather than, you know, say, oh, I'm not going to burden them, and then you're not there anymore. So... And then WTF says, thoughts on urination. Jesus Christ. Grim. Anyway. Wow. Yeah. As I said, it's just my thought that it's been really illuminating. I think illuminating is the right word here. The number of these kids who have spoken to me about it, because even in terms of like a proportion of my my Discord server, which if you're on YouTube, the link is in the description of this live stream, by the way. That's a new thing. The proportion who messaged me was already quite high, but then you would add in the proportion of them who are having those feelings, but they're not confiding in me specifically about it, which I've never invited it. So, like, you know, it's probably the vast majority of them. So, crazy high numbers. Maybe I've just got a really depressed fan base. Maybe that says something about my own content, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Wow. Yeah, it's not too much more to add on to that, to be honest. Thoughts on urination is crazy. Damn. I lost a school student by... Is that really how we're saying it? Via train. RP Emily, you were awesome. I don't know if I've said this before. This is something different. I probably have. But my high school was in the countryside. And it was on... it backed up onto a train track. And it had a station that was like maybe 200 meters down the road. But this was a very small train station. And so the vast majority of trains, they'd come through, they'd be going between The Hague and Amsterdam? Yeah, Amsterdam. So like 1 in every 5 trains would stop. All the others would just fly through. And so it was a very, very common place for people to jump onto the tracks and kill themselves. And it's just... I don't know if this is a fair thing to say about Dutch culture, but Dutch people are very matter of fact. So I think that you don't think too much about the ramifications of you doing that on, like, you know, the whole cleanup and situation. What would happen is people would jump onto the tracks at this small train station as the trains of, you know, the intercity trains are flying through. The trains would hit the body, the person would die, but the body would be dragged the 100, 200 meters down the track until the train stops. Obviously, the train will stop. And it would stop always consistently right in front of our school. Just right out the back. So everyone that's in class, let alone if we were out in the back, you know, playing soccer or whatever, would we see a train gradually go to a halt, right there, literally just the other side of the back fence of the school. And we'd all know exactly what had happened. And obviously all these, we're high school kids, we're morbidly curious. That's all anyone's focusing on. And it was a real thing for teachers to be like, just like focus back in on what we're doing in the class. Very distracting.
Chico, we 420 just redeemed, change the background color. How is bro at Canberra already? Same bro that predicted us 9th SMH. Did bro teleport us red and green BTW?
Sorry, Chico, but I'll answer your question, but I'm not going to change the background color because that's asking. It's way more than just the colors. We've said this before. I think I've said it with you before. I don't know. I won't accuse you of that, but it's misusing the text to speech. I'm in Canberra already because I got a very early bus.
Lorenzo Theraborn just redeemed Pepsi Max sip.
I did not expect this to turn into a trauma dumping session. I would join that if I can be asked. It's not a trauma dump thing from me, to be honest. As I said, I've always been very just like headstrong. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it's happened again. There was once that it happened and we were like, it was lunchtime, so we were all out playing out the back and kids have just lined the back fence. The school did start an initiative to grow a big hedge at the back fence that would have blocked out our view of it, basically. At least when we were out playing, soccer at lunchtime. So there was this one day where we all, these people came in for a company, we all got shovels, we picked out a plant to put down, we named the plant, and we put it in the ground, and they started to grow. But then, because they were growing at the back fence of the school, we'd all play soccer up against the back fence of the school as a goal. And we would just absolutely batter these plants in their infancy with soccer balls, and it killed them. It absolutely killed them. So even that didn't work. Anyway, second half meant to get underway. Damn. Again, maybe it's a version of me dealing with that, a method of me dealing with that decently traumatic experience, but I just kind of found it funny enough. Anyway, there's the kickoff of the second half. We are underway, ladies and gentlemen. Just sorting out the exact positioning of the camera here. There we go. Thoughts on Ned Kelly? I went to Glenrowan once. I know we're going for Glenrowan. That's where he died. I don't really have many thoughts on him, though. Anti-hero kind of fella. Who's making the grand final? I no longer think it will be Panthers versus Roosters. I've been asked that all season. And all season I have said, my preseason prediction was Panthers versus Roosters. My prediction is still Panthers versus Roosters. It is no longer. I guess I'd have to go Panthers and Warriors, really. So, yeah. Leaguie, what are we doing, bruh? I don't know. What are we doing? Am I doing something wrong? Can you say hi to my mother? She goes to Parramatta. No. Given that she goes to Parramatta, I'm not going to say hi to your mother. If she went for any other team except South Sydney, then I would. But yeah. Anyway. Played here by Kalen Ponga. A minute gone in this first half. Up to the 20, tackled by a whole host of New Zealand Warriors. Newcastle with a bit of a resurgence back at the end of that first half. Getting back within 2 points. You wouldn't expect them to be able to stay in this for much longer, but we'll see. Next try, I think, could be an important one. What happened at halftime? NRL grid 27-0. No, just some good old-fashioned trauma dumping. It was planned. In fairness, I just wanted to mention it. Not my not my school thing, but the wider call to the community. My mum also goes to Para. Can you say hi to her? Yes. Hello to WTF's mum, but just not Dean's mum. Mr. Church Boy says, can I have $10? Is that like for the church donations, given that you are a church boy? Is that for the... What do they call it? There's a word for it. Dean will know. I can't remember. The collection plate. Anyway. What happened to Sharks and Roosters? They lost to bottom 4 teams. I'm confused. It's the NRL. Anyone can beat anyone. And clearly, the wheels are falling off the Roosters at the moment. So, yeah. Mighty God, I have no thoughts on that, brother. No thoughts. It's back infield here for Ali Leitawa. It might be an 8-point try situation. He was holding his head after putting the ball down there. Might have a little look at that, but for now, it is just a regular Warriors try.
Hey, Leaguie, someone just redeemed the thing.
Money God 164 yet just redeemed Pepsi Max Sip.
Church Boy says, I need $10 for my trade fair. Trade fair from where to where? Hello, Wobbler Jaw Sports. He says bang, and the Warriors have indeed gone bang. I did just say I think the first try of the second half could be an important one. And there they go. First time of asking, it's Ariel Jacob Laban, or as we like to call him, Jacob Taliban. The ground-to-air missile it was that he intercepted, as terrorist organizations tend to do. Pass back in field to Ali Leitawa. That's just not okay for me to say, is it? Anyway. Nathan Cleary clapping his little brother's try assist along there, and Warriors will be leading by 8 points in just a moment. Thank you, Reckless Ollie. I appreciate that. I like how you pronounce the Islander names. I try my best. I mean, I definitely don't get them all correct, but I think I get them more correct than the average commentator. So I'm happy enough with that. Kick here from Tuapiki. Bang. 8-point lead here for the Waz. Chico says, make a finals video. When? I will make a finals video. Admittedly, so my weekend, this weekend, will involve me doing a building dinner, me streaming on each of the other days. Then the week after is literally 9 to 5, Monday to Friday working for me. So exactly when am I going to be able to do these videos? Not a clue. Absolutely no idea. But I am going to try. I'm going to do a ladder prediction video and like a finals guide to the finals video. I like doing those. So, yeah. Dolly Parton reference. Unintentional, but yes. How do Roosters drop off the top 4 mathematically? If we lose next week and Sharks win. I think they still need to overtake some points difference, but yeah. What do you think of the new rule since you were at a game yesterday? The kickoff rule, it was only tried in one match. It wasn't, it didn't apply in the other games. All right, Egan had a dummy half there. Passes out wide. It was a no-looker. It worked nicely, but it's going to be ruled forward. Oh, no, he put a foot out. Phil Henderson, the man, ruling that one. Bit of a smile there. Laban had something to say about it. Let's see. Good. If he's got this. Oh, yes, he has got that. Who says touchies don't do anything, eh? Who says it? Love your guide videos, man. I appreciate you saying that. I mean, personally, I feel that someone of your expertise on Blitz Sports doesn't need the guide, but I thank you for it anyway. They're fun to do. I like when I get to make all the graphics and all that stuff. By God, they take a bloody long time, but I enjoy doing it. So, and they often mean less editing, which is probably my favorite part of it, really. Leaguie planning reaction videos to the Big 26, even if it's of his own video. Yes, I mean, I've made my thoughts on reaction content clear, but you can do it when it's to your own content. That's fine. I think we made that same joke last year, right? Surely. We're just recycling it 12 months on. Out offload there to find Fletcher Sharp. Lovely work from the Newcastle Knights. Throwing the ball around a bit more. I guess they kind of need to. They're not going to find overlaps if they're not doing that. It's a risky way to play. But you're not going to be able to find these openings, these spaces in the defensive line when you're a man down by playing regulation football. Sanders Smith to find Kelaponga. Nice passing there. Marju with it. Is he going to back himself here? Offload back in field. It's knocked back here by the Newcastle Knights. And that will be a changeover. Good sliding defense there from the New Zealand Warriors. Lily says, my sub on Friday, I don't know what you mean by sub, but anyway, said he was a Cows fan. As it, like, substitute? From when he heard me talking to my Bronx fan friends, he brought up how they should root for Cows in finals, and we all know which game I brought up. 82 points to 12. Has to be. Has to be. Leaguie, what made you support the Roosters? My dad was a Roosters fan. I was trying to think of a funny answer, but yeah, on the spot, at the moment, got absolutely nothing. My dad's a Roosters fan. I was his first child. I was never going to be anything other than a Roosters fan. You Sword says, I hope she be substitute. Yeah, I also hope that she be substitute. That's kind of my concern right now. Anyway. Genuinely, if you need assistance with graphics, let me know. I'll do them. I love me some graphics. I will keep that in mind. I mean, I've got them all in templates now, so they take less time than they used to. But yeah, it's the administrative side of it, I guess, of like, if you're putting together the draw that team has coming up, like I did in my sort of three rounds to go video, you're looking at going through all the draws, you're looking at getting the logo, you're putting it in the table, you're formatting, you're looking at all the injuries, all that stuff. So yeah, by sub I meant substitute teacher, so you were right. Good. I didn't know you were a teacher. I don't know if you mentioned that before, but that's nice. Bradley Barkolo, the Bradley Barkolo's in the chat saying, up the bunnies, Chola's back, be careful. I am bricking it, brother. I'm very nervous that we're not going to meet you next week, so yeah. Rory Owen scores for the Eels with 40 seconds left and brings the margin back to 36. Love a bit of Rory Owen. She's great. Ponga, oh, I don't know if that was forward there from Gagai anyway. Ends up with Fletcher Hunt. No overlap found there. 2 tackles left here. It's going to be a penalty, in fact, in favour of Newcastle. 10 metres out. Can't go anywhere these days without hearing that bloody 82 scoreline, Leaguie. Fair dinkum. Look, I mean, given that it will be the most impressive thing we achieve in the 2026 season, now that Sam Walker is kill, I'm just going to keep mentioning it. I'm just going to watch that. Grand final day, yes, I'm going, but I'm probably going to be sitting there on my phone just watching the 82-12 scoreline because it's really the only thing that was relevant in the 2026 season. You're going for Knights, right? Yes. Because even though I'd, rather the Warriors win the minor premiership than the Panthers on face value, given that the Roosters are going to finish 4th, hopefully, I'd rather play Panthers in Combank Week 1 than Waz in New Zealand. Although I've been to-ing and froing on that, to be honest. Panthers, once they come finals time, are just a different piece, so I don't know. Hazmat says Sam Walker is washed, bro. Sam Walker can't walk. So, not the most controversial statement you've ever made there. But, no, I don't agree. Grand final day, you might as well go home early after Roosters get upset by Broncos. Yeah, if that happens again, 2 years in a row, Roosters lose to the NRLW Grand Final in an upset against the Broncos, by golly, there's going to be some severe consequences. Let's just put it that way. Your boy says, thoughts on the Tigers upset last week? Well, this soundbite doesn't really apply to that game specifically, but you know, it makes sense. So
I was sad that my team lost a very important game yesterday night.
Let's just substitute that for a significantly less important game 1 week ago. Roosters play 4D chess. We're deliberately finishing 5th so we can put another 82 points on the Cows. I love that. Knock on there from Laban. So it's going to be 6 more here for the Newcastle Knights. Gagai does find a ball out wide here. Fletcher Hunt, pass back in field, and are they going to rule that was advantage? I think they will, which I agree with. I think they did take the advantage. Advantage over, okay, nice. Yeah, that was never really on there from Fletcher Hunt, unfortunately. Yeah. Leaguie, do you think we should replace Nico? I've always thought he's more of a 6 than he is a halfback, but then Trindle is a bit more of a halfback than your traditional 6. So it works. I don't think there's a need to change that halves pairing as it stands right now. So, Dean says, as for next year, I'm going for the legendary bears. Be careful, otherwise I'll get Cocaine Bear on your back. That was a hell of a movie. Really scarred me. Penalty there, Warriors. So you're ditching Cronulla? Damn. Okay. Lockie says, why did I get the good boy sound bite? Did you? I mean, I mentioned it earlier. Not recently. Oh, Lily says, I'm not a teacher. My maths teacher was away, so I had a substitute teacher. Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Tiger says Souths will win next week. I think there is a distinct possibility that you're right, and that upsets me deeply. I know in 2013 we lost the two of the last 3 rounds and then beat Souths in the final round and won the comp. I don't think that's going to happen this time. But We'll see. We will see. Fisher Harris there. Outside Jet Cleary. Now top picky with it. Leitawa has an opportunity here. Poppy out wide. Bang. Bang. Try time. Bang. WTF says, preseason I tipped Rift top, Wise third, and Roosters fourth, but I had to ruin it by tipping Broncos second. There's nothing wrong with tipping Broncos in second. I actually think tipping Broncos in second is quite an admirable pick because most people did predict them to win the minor premiership. You predicted them not to win the minor premiership, I think is quite a bit of eyes up footy from yourself, and it's worth congratulating. Does this have anything to do with the fact that I tipped the Broncos in second? No. Did I say fifth or second? I think I said fifth. I meant second. Look, I'm going to be honest. The amount of sleep that I have had over the last 72 hours is about 12 hours total. So, it's not good times for me, mentally speaking. But anyway, we're here, and that's what matters. Lily says, we are 100% winning the comp. There's 2 history stats on our side. No. Anyway. Bradley Barkala says, Ezra Mam to South incoming. For me, personally, that'd be an absolutely wonderful combination. A club that I definitely do not like. Well, I think he's just about managed that. Adam Pompey. Yeah, club I don't like, and a player who, yeah, certainly have my reservations about. Look, DC in the 7, there's worse replacements out there. Yes, there is. Absolutely right. However, this is a textbook example of us, like, rationalizing it in our head, and then we're going to get to the end of the season. The Roosters will get eliminated, and we'll be like, oh, of course they couldn't win it. Sam Walker went out injured. So we get our hopes up in the moment, and then, yeah. You know what I mean? I'm giving this a try, to be honest. I'm giving that a try. I don't think there's conclusive evidence to say that his wrist is out of the field there. It's bloody close. Didn't you put Chucky second? Did I? I thought I put us in third. Sam Walker equals Cooper Croc 2.0 if Roosters make the grand final. That is true, actually. He could be back for the grand final. What is this Knights drop-off, bro? A player being sent off. Pretty much. Try is confirmed. Try is confirmed. I'm happy with that call. I'm happy with that call. Watch particular streamers go, honestly, we've got $2 million worth of technology in the bunker and they can't even get that bloody right. But it's worked out here, in my opinion. I was in New Zealand when Cocaine Bear came out, and when I looked up things to do in Auckland, that was one of the top Google suggestions for some reason. Also, my NZ friends pronounce it Cocaine Beer, right, of course. Which just sounds like an average man Monday Sally. I love that. I love that. That's great stuff. Bradley says, Latrell back to the Roosters, you would think. You would think. I don't think anyone's thinking that, brother. I don't think anyone's thinking that. You've got some transfer rumors that are on a different existential plane than the rest of the world right now. Apparently, Walker's syndesmosis is a high grade. Yes, I'm aware. Believe me, I'm across it.
I am sad that my team's star halfback is out for the rest of the season.
So, yeah. Ponga should sign for an actual team that would challenge for the grand final. He might do a Cherry Evans at the end of his career. But he's so Newcastle. And there is something to be said for being loyal to a team. If he stays there his whole career, and he would own Newcastle. He'd own Newcastle every bit as much as any other player except one man, and that's Andrew Johns. Genuinely. He wouldn't have to buy a beer in Newcastle. So, back there for the Warriors. Still the last. Laban gets the ball away. Still alive here. Pompey keeps it going, and the ruling is going to be forward. So, that's worked out there for Newcastle. Wade Walker has a syndesmosis? Yes. I mean, that's not how you spell syndesmosis, but yes. Sure. Bro, is it already second half? Yes, sir. It is. He might need a screw if you know, you know. Well, don't we all? Yeah. Just a sec. Tokener says, have we scored? So, I don't know who you go for, but the score is there. Right there. Right now. Glad to have you back, Dean. Glad to have you back. Ball alive here. Marju kicks it, gets it back here. Could this be a try? I think it will be. That's absolutely beautiful. I don't know how the hell he's managed to make that happen, but he has. Where's that bounced off Topicki's head? His head? I don't know. But anyway, point is, Newcastle scored. I'm putting that in the rewind. 100%. Marju try. Wavy was. That's wonderful. How on earth has he done that? Let's see here. He wanted to kick back if he wants sharp. Oh my god, it's come off his head. It's come off Topicki's head. Oh no. Oh, poor Tane. Dush. Oh, and it came off Lake Tower as well. How on earth has that ended up back with Greg Marju?
Well, that's why you get the big bucks, baby. That's why you get the big bucks.
Sleeper opinion: Fletcher Hunt will play for New South Wales.
Hunt or Sharp? I think Sharp's a lot more likely. Play for New South Wales when? That is genuinely, like, physically speaking, incredible what has just happened there to Greggy Marju. That's insane. What the? How has that ball ended up back in his hands? The odds of that are incredibly low. Bouncing off Topicki's face, then lays down his thigh right back into his grasp. And is it about to be an 8-point ball game? Yes, it is. 8-point ball game. I'm not... Oh, hang on. No, that's the wrong team. Given the Warriors' injuries, I'm not too worried about the whole defensive situation here. Because conceding 26 points... Well, okay. I guess the send-off was... Send-off was later. But, yeah. Conceding 26 points to a side who have had a player sent off after only 12 minutes is a concern. But really, given the lack of defensive combinations that they've got out there, it's not the worst thing in the world. Leaguie, how close are we to 300 for the stream? In terms of donations, I don't think very. Let's have a little squeeze here. We are. We're actually very close. So, in order to get 300, all we need is a further $262. That's very doable. We're basically there, if you think about it. If you deep that thought for a moment, we're pretty much essentially right on the money. So, anyway. Ball out wide here to find Ponga. Again, they find Marju in an overlap situation here. Still going. Oh, he had to pass back inside there. No, he didn't. Greggy Marju has left an absolute wave of Warriors behind him. This game's alive. That's one of the purest rugby league tries I think I've ever seen a winger put together. They found an overlap for him. And it's not the fastest winger, but he's just gone bang. Beating them with physicality. Beats one, beats two, Topicki. Oh, he has inside men in Fletcher Sharp. Doesn't use him. That's incredible. That's incredible. Oh, he touched Topicki there. I thought that was a replay. Yeah, I mean, it could be forgiven. Best winger try in 2026? I would not disagree with that. He had so many players to beat there. God damn. We're about to be potentially 34 points to 32. That's insane. Currently second intermission in the AIHL Grand Final. Newcastle North Stars are beating the Canberra Raves 2-1. Come on, Canberra. Come on, Canberra. Sanders Smith to kick them within 2 points as a Warriors fan in the background picks his nose and eats it. Hits it there. And that one's going to be wide, I think. No, he's got it. He's got it. What a kick that was. All right, this is alive here, folks. Game of the round. I mean, it probably would be game of the round. Yes. Less said about yesterday, the better. Legman, will you stream the Dally M ceremony? Absolutely. Yes, and it's going to be lovely not having to hide the fact that I want James Tedesco to win it. Like I had to do first year that I did content. Tedesco missed out by 1 vote. And I did manage to predict the women's winner. I said it would be Olivia Koenig. And I saw, you know, my team captain, my fullback, miss out by 1 vote. And live on stream, I had to be like, oh, well done, Jerome Hughes. Really cool stuff. He's been such a good player this season. You know, it's really carried Melbourne. I was inside. I'm just devastated for him. So, yeah. Graham. Passes there to find... who is that man? Lockie Crouch, I think it is. But I'm not confident about that. Honestly, there are some Newcastle forwards. Yeah, it is. It is Lockie Crouch. Look, I'm going to be honest. Thomas Kent, I'll recognize. But you give me Cody Hopwood, Lachlan Crouch. Like, I'm not telling these guys apart. I am not telling these guys apart, realistically. Let alone throw in a Diesel Hagen. I don't even know what he looks like. But I would be comfortable with either of them being Diesel Hagen as well. Good catch there from Topiki. Can the Knights win the game? Well and truly they can win this game. All right, 20 minutes left to go in this one. 2 points, the margin. Warriors up to the halfway line here on the second tackle. Good start for them, for sure. I don't know what that question was, Safa, about Wendy's. But anyway. The fact Newcastle is in this game is crazy. Yeah, largely, yes. Defensively has been the problem for the Wars. Yes, they've got, you know, a hell of a lot of injuries, but Newcastle have their fair share as well. Fisher-Harris to find Tane Tuapiki, lay tower with it, stepping around, takes a tackle there. Newcastle actually really do. No Dylan Brown, no Dylan Lucas, no Dominic Young, and obviously Safini in the bin. Frizzell, I think, also not available. Good catch there from Fletcher Hunt. Very good work. God damn. No Phoenix Crossland as well. Actually, I wish I'd mentioned that to that Warriors fan earlier. New and Wa scoreboard sounds like the American government every 6 months. I mean, yes. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Teddy's runner-up stats in the Dally M's is insane. Yeah, he's always up and around there. Again, I don't think he'll win it this year. I think Nathan Cleary's pretty much got it unlocked, but there hasn't been a standout player as such as you tend to get most years. I don't think there's like an obvious favourite. Just kind of like, oh yeah, Cleary is the best player, so he'll probably get it. Gagai does find Hunt in a bit of space here. Will he find a kick? He won't. Gets a flick pass right to find Leka Halasima, who's going to return this ball. Leka the Wrecker's in space. Pins the ears back. Can he step inside Ponga? No, Ponga does well there to get to the ground. The flick pass was nearly a try assist and a half. Holy, Topiki finds Hansen. There's a hell of a lot of room out wide here. Cleary with it. Does get it on to find Pompey. Has Leitawa outside him. Does not find his centre. Leitawa there at dummy half to find Wade Egan. Now finds Mitch Barnett in the middle of the field. They're only on the second here, so they've got tackles to burn. DJ, I was on the way back from Roosters Dolphins, so I didn't watch Cows versus Tigers. Back here for Jet Cleary. Hansen now on to find Lofi Pereira. Bang. Feels like I haven't commentated his name too much in this stream. He hasn't been super involved. But damn, he is in try-scoring form here for the Waz. That's a big moment. That's a very, very big moment. And Newcastle, you can understand, will be devastated by that. You felt as soon as Halasima got that intercept, a try was on the way. It should have been Newcastle, you know, maybe returning the ball, potentially getting a try. It's very much gone the other direction, and this could be a 10-point game in but a second. Yeah, I mean, I saw on the officiating, I saw some quotes from Benji's press conference. Haven't really read it, to be honest, but here's what I will say. if the officiating genuinely was terrible, this is what I mean when I come out fighting against this culture. Because, like, for instance, I saw someone say that was the worst officiated game I've seen since 1998. Right? And it might have been. The problem is, I see someone say that every single week. So, I don't know. Boy Who Cried Wolf kind of situation. When every single game is the worst officiated thing we've ever seen, then when it actually comes around, I'm not going to take the criticism seriously. So I don't know. Those who did watch the game, was it legitimately terrible? WTF says point score is getting a little crazy. Yeah. Yeah, it's not great, is it? I mean, yes, the send-off would have created more points from a Wasps perspective, but it should have created less from a Newcastle perspective. Converts that one. 40 plays 32. A try was disallowed. Yes, that's the only thing that I know in that game, and it was Coruscant playing at McKaylee's arm, which I don't think I agree with the call, but I don't think it was egregious. But if that's all it was, if it's just that one moment, then that doesn't justify the whole reaction, right? I don't know. As I say, I'm not just taking my pro ref stance. I can't because I didn't see the game. I'm asking you guys for your opinion. So they're moving the ball here off the kickoff. Immediately here the was Laban steps inside. Lovely work there. Gets up to about the 30. Plays it there. Hansen to find Ali Leitao. You do get the sense the Wires are just going to go on with this. Some decisions when against the Tigers would not have happened if Tigers were a top 4 team, and that was his point. What evidence is there of that? Because a lot of people will say that. I think the causality is the other way around. I think that teams that are in the top 4 are the more disciplined teams. Or at least the teams that are... Like, some aren't, and the numbers will show that. Like, the Roosters are very bad in terms of discipline. But they're typically able to defend their penalties that they give away. So... Oh, big hit there from Thomas Cant on Jet Cleary. Not a penalty, though. There's a bit going on in back play. Yeah, it's just... I hear a lot of people say that there's this bias towards the big teams, but why would there be?
Hey, Leaguie, someone just redeemed a thing.
Lorenzo Theraborn just redeemed Pepsi Max Sip.
That's what that is. There you go. Got it done. Gerard Skelter did a disrupt up, and a similar thing happened in a Cowboys try the next set. Okay, I mean, could, as I say, I didn't watch it, so could well be the case that there was a lack of consistency there. Geez, Jack Cleary was not happy with Cant there. Panther fan says, great, clearly the NRL want Warriors to win the minor premiership. That's why they sent a player off what's usually a sin bin. 100% disagree. That was absolutely a send-off. That was... Okay, so not only was that, in my opinion, 100% a send-off, but even if you say, okay, it should have been a sin bin, it was nowhere near a clear enough sin bin and not send-off for you to say that the NRL clearly want the Warriors to win the minor premiership. That's absurd. Grasmus, if you're still watching, I know I'm kind of challenging you on this, but I'm legitimately curious. You've made the claim that the calls would not have happened if Tigers were a top 4 team, and I kind of want to see you back that up. It frustrates me a little when people will make a claim like that and then just hide, basically. Do you prefer commentators who are clearly biased towards one team or commentators who don't take a side and are neutral? Different commentators should have different roles. A play-by-play commentator should be neutral. But if Luke Keary is commentating a Roosters game, I expect him to be biased. Because he is biased. Healy there with a solid run out of dummy half. Plays it quickly. Barnett to find Aaron Clark. Calls Fisher Harris underneath him. Doesn't take that option. Just runs himself. Pass out wide here. Knock on there, I think, for Newcastle. No, it's going to be ruled all play on. When he can play for did a post for Serbia. Someone commented, if this is a list of guys who can play for Serbia, why does it say Thomas can't? And I think of that every time I hear his name. It is an absolutely brilliant joke to make about it, for sure. May also had a try disallowed for an obstruction for a defensive decision, and that technically wouldn't be the call. So, what do you mean it technically wouldn't be the call? Is it that you disagree with what the bunker said? Or that the bunker did actually misapply it? Tiger hits us with the absence of evidence is an evidence of absence. That's a throwback. Yeah, okay, Grassroots in fairness, you've stood up there to your words. I want to give you credit there. It seems like it's unconscious bias. It seems to favour teams that are favourite to win, as they are expected to be a better team. I can't dispute that. I mean, again, I'll say that there isn't proof of that. I would say that the burden of proof would be on people making that claim, as it is with any claim, to actually show that. But it feels like kind of a bit of believing what you want to believe. If it's unconscious bias, fair. I mean, certainly that's not something I'm going to waste too much breath arguing against, because, as I say, I can't disprove it. But I know there's a lot of people who say it's a conscious bias, which is more certainly what I argue against. Do you think there could be a factor as well, where a referee who is a fan of the game and, you know, an employee of the NRL who want to see upsets and stuff, if given the choice, where when a little team is competing, they want to see subconsciously that team actually win, that team do better? Because that'd be a factor as well. Grassmith says, I'm a Panthers fan, by the way. Respect it. No, fair enough. There's one big thing, and I don't know if I made this point clearly enough when I was doing all the ref and media content and stuff, but when we have a smaller team playing against a bigger team, and let's say the game's really, really close, and the wrong call goes against a smaller team, it is a much, much, much bigger deal than when the wrong call goes against the big team. It's not reported, really. If Roosters are playing Tigers, let's say. This is a no try, by the way, so I'm not going to waste too much breath on it. Let's say Roosters are playing... I'll go with Titans, because we actually did lose to the Tigers. Roosters are playing Titans. And it's 30 points all. And in the last 10 minutes, the Titans get a try off a forward pass. It's not really going to be anywhere near as much of a story as if the Roosters incorrectly get a try off a forward pass. So that means we talk about it more when it happens to the smaller teams. Therefore, we think that it happens more to the smaller teams because we only talk about it in those situations. This, I think, is a massive thing that contributes to this idea that we have that the smaller teams are actively receiving the smaller end of the stick. I think that's a big factor, and it's a point that I don't see anyone make, really. Just my thought there. Leaguie highest losing score in NRL is 40. Yes, I remember that game, and we're only 8 points away from it here. Yeah, I think that's a knock on there for Tanner Stowell-Smith, unfortunately. Do an IRL stream in Camden, New South Wales. Why would I do an IRL stream in Camden, New South Wales? Hello, Duffy. How you going? Brother, we get it. You love the refs. I do. I mean, it doesn't change whether that point is correct or not. Tiger says it was an inside shoulder, which isn't an obstruction. Is that... I could be wrong about this, but did they not change the interpretation of that rule? I thought they changed it into a more subjective defensive decision thing. I could be completely wrong about that and misremembering it. I don't know. But I haven't heard the phrase, inside shoulder, outside shoulder for a while, I feel. Leaguie update for anyone who watches. Newcastle lead Canberra 2-1 going into the final period in the AIHL Grand Final. Could be Newest first championship in 10 years. Well, I'm naturally wanting to go for Canberra, but that does make me actually feel kind of happy if Newcastle can get that. People who put money on an underdog lost their cash. Well, this is a whole other thing. influence of the gambling sector. It's 6-4 here for the Warriors, by the way. In attack. They're going to score a try here. Surely. Yeah, a lot of people talk about that. I think it's certainly more on the conspiratorial end, but yeah. Oh, they're getting into it. They are really getting into it, genuinely.
What about that? Send him off! Send the dressing gate off! Get him off the field! That was diabolical!
I'm glad we got to see Nathan Cleary's reaction to that situation. Wowzers. Wowzers. Let's see. Oh, it was on Jet. That's why. Yeah, it was dangerous. It was lifting. Did you watch the Roosters game last night? No, actually. Haven't seen it, so no spoilers, please. I'm certainly expecting a big win from the Roosters, though. We've got to bounce back after our loss to the Tigers last week, so we'll see. But yeah, please no spoilers. Teddy comes from Camden, that's why. So you want me to do an IRL stream and walk around Camden and just wait in the hope that James Tedesco might show up? Why hasn't Ponga done anything I needed to lock in? I mean, his side has been down a man, in fairness. Adam G's put down a bit of an ultimatum here. There's going to be players in the bin next time. Sure you didn't watch it. Glory, glory. Classic South fans making it about them. Oh, making it about them. Oh, I've messed up the scoreboard there. There we go. Breaking news, Uncle Nick decides to change the timeline where Sam Walker never got injured in 2024 and 2026 on the same ground to gain more premierships. I don't think we would have won it in 24, but it certainly didn't help. That's for sure. All right. Cleary dummies goes himself. I'd love to see a Jet Cleary try to end out this game on debut for him. Healy finds, a dummy in Luke Hanson. Tackle there, close to the line. Still 2 more tackles left here. Back to Mitch Barnett, former Newcastle Knight, of course, before he moved across to Dawaz. Kick in behind, that has gone absolutely flying. I think it hit a Newcastle Knight, and that's why it's gone so far. Gotta say, Jet Cleary, much better looking man than Nathan. Way better looking man than Nathan. I don't know about their footballing ability relative to one another, but Jet is certainly, he's one in the looks department. Have you ever considered moving somewhere interesting? I have lived in a number of quite interesting places, and I put Canberra as one of them. That's a great short drop out. That is wonderful. Canberra is Australia's best kept secret. I will die on that hill. I will die on that hill. Gagai with the ball. Crabby across field, hit hard there by Lee Tower, and gets back into the forwards. Right through the middle. Holy, that was wonderful work from Hunt there. Sharp. Ponga takes a really big slip there in back play. Anyway. Jet hasn't had his chin injection yet. That is a big part of it for sure. Short ball there, Sandon. Oh, I don't know if that's the right call. Maybe I'm seeing what I want to see. I thought it was flat, but not forward. Anyway. Wow, the rain is really coming down here. God damn. Surely stream next game as well. Don't you worry, I will be. I will be. Much as I don't want to, much as I have so many things to do with my life right now, and I'm literally going to be doing intense work until the moment I go to sleep tonight, I'm going to stream the next game, yes. It's raining, it's pouring, Wayne Bennett is snoring out there in Auckland, although he's not in Auckland, is he? Halasima with the run there, up over the 40-metre line. 7 minutes to go in this one. Newcastle, you got to say, being on 8 points down at this point in the game with Daniel Safidi having been sent off, an impressive result for them. Could that be a knock-on and a dummy half? It is. Door just opening up slightly here. Look, it's a little bit miracle territory. We're close to it for Newey. 8 points down, 7 minutes left. Obviously in the wet as well. And they are down the wrong end of the field, but not impossible. Streaming a Cronulla win? Almost certainly, yes. What's the difference between Roger Ramjet and Nathan Cleary? Well, I don't know who Roger Ramjet is, so I have not the foggiest clue. Newcastle are playing extremely dirty hockey today. I wouldn't blame you for backing Canberra Brave. Well, I only back Canberra Brave, obviously, because I'm a ACT enthusiast. Sandon Smith in at dummy half here. 6 minutes to go. Newcastle with it on the second. Not really making a heap of ground there. They had to take a settler tackle to get back towards the middle of the field. Harrison Graham there with a bit of action out of dummy half. Sandon Smith takes a tackle there. McEwen's unhappy that he was hit off the ball there. I think that's sort of more begged to get a penalty rather than a sincere complaint. Here's the shift that they've needed, but even then, it's been a really modest gain for the Newcastle Knights in this set. 18 meters. Absolutely nothing. Sharp with a good step. Gets a pass away, but it's forward. It's forward. There was a chance there if that had found Cant backwards because he was in a little bit of space, but Sharp did well. Sharp did very well, but it was forward this pass back inside here. Yeah, for sure. Go to the Camden Rands field. That was his team. I will be honest. I think me walking around Camden and going to a rugby league field in Camden won't be the most compelling content I've seen in my life. Also, IRL streaming is incredibly difficult. But sure, I think I have a thought about it. I'll put that one in the ideas bank for you. Give the ball to Ponga. I mean, they don't have possession right now, so it will be a bit difficult there, Duffy. But anyway, if I was a Knights fan, I'd be happy with the fact they were in this game. I agree with you. If Sharks lose, are Roosters locked into 4? I believe so. Because, yeah, Dolphins are locked into the 4, pretty much. Well, Sharks still have better for and against than us. Yes. If Sharks lose this, Roosters will be locked into top 4. The only way Sharks make it is if Sharks win both remaining games and we lose to South Sydney next week. Very, very much not impossible. Could absolutely 100% happen. Penalty there to the Warriors. McEwen is the player that's down. Wonder if he could sit out the rest of this game here, Jimmy McEwen. It was a high tackle. Nah, he won't. He won't. Knights done well. Win by 20 without the send-off. It's hard to say. I think the send-off kind of motivated them a bit. But based on the way that they've played, you know, it's hard to argue. What happened to LeaguieGames? I'll still be doing it in the off-season, just as a way of streaming. But I said this to a friend of mine who's also a YouTuber, and he's really encouraged me at various points to take the gaming channel more seriously. Firstly, I don't have the time. Absolutely do not have the time. And if I did dedicate more time to it, I'd just be taking away time that I could spend on my main channel. But I don't want to be a gaming creator. And he's like, but you might as well just give it a go. But I enjoy the fact that I do that for fun. I do not care about the number of subscribers it gets. None of that. Don't give a damn. So, yeah. Laban will score a late try here. Beautiful work there for Jacob Laban. He'll get them up to 46. Wonderful try there for the Waz. Waz are first if they convert. Well, they will convert. They will certainly convert. Brilliant work there from the New Zealand Warriors. You beat us every time at Allianz, not Sin Bin Sunday. Damn. Weakest defense ever? I mean, they've defended for 70 minutes with a player less on the field. I think that's kind of fair enough at this point in the game, but anyway. There's a feeling about the Waz. I was told about the possibility, obviously, or asked about the possibility of Warriors and Dolphins in the grand final this year. God, that would be great. That would just be so awesome. That'd be absolutely brilliant for the game. That's beyond pathetic for Newcastle. I disagree. I do think some of the tackle attempts there were very, very poor, but I think they are out on their feet, personally. My political rotted brain heard that as Labour have scored a fantastic try, and now all I can see is Albo streaking down the left wing. Well, he would be on the left wing, wouldn't it, bloody communist Albo? Oh, mate! Oh, mate! Draws me out the wall, it does. Right. Right. You know what? I've been quite surprised at the lack of people asking me about the Roosters game yesterday. I thought it would be like, honestly, every 5 minutes, some new person would come into the chat and think, wow, I'm sure no one's asked him about his thoughts on the Roosters game yesterday. Why did I be the first to? Bang. 46 points. Plays 32. And now you're all going to ask about it, I know. What's the most likely ending score? I'm still learning how Rugby League works. Thanks. Well, firstly, thank you for coming along to the stream and welcome to the sport of Rugby League. I hope you grow to enjoy it as much as I do. Given that there's only 2.5 minutes to go, this will probably be the ending scoreline. Certainly no need for the Warriors to score any more points. They might, but we'll see. This has been quite the game for you to watch as a new Rugby League fan. If Panthers don't make it, I'd love Warriors versus Finns, a first-time premier. Yeah, I think that it would end up being one of the most viewed grand finals in... I think it would be the most viewed grand final in history, if we get that. And one of the highest just interest grand finals in history. Love that, WTF. Can you start a political party, Leaguie, since you're from Canberra? I mean, you don't need to be from Canberra to start a political party in fairness, but I did consider doing it, and I went to get registration, but I tried to get the name Greens because, you know, obviously all this, and apparently it's already taken, so I couldn't really do anything about it. Do they try to burn out the clock like in American football? Not really. I mean, you can't do a quarterback kneel as such. Sometimes you'll see teams just kick the ball over the sideline, soak up a bit more time, little bits like that, but really there's not a massive need to. Vaimonga does a little chip and chase for himself. He's going to score here, I think. Oh, it was there for him. It's going to be knock on Newcastle, though, first, so Warriors will get the ball back. Yeah, Warriors play the ball. I don't mind him giving that a go. The big back rower down the touchline. Wonderful work, wrapping back around. How's he managed to come up with that? Greens must be some hippie group. Sounds like it, certainly. I mean, if I'm in charge of it, for sure. There's a captain's challenge here from Newcastle, and I can only describe that as frivolous as hell. Although, I guess, well, points difference. It's worth something. Yeah, I think that's all back there from... It's a knock-on from Bradman Best first. Alright. Waz v Finns would likely be Queensland versus almost every other NRL fan. Yes, probably, but I still think that the Dolphins are one of the most liked teams in the comp. I don't think there'd be too many fans that are like really disappointed to see the Dolphins win. In the same way that there would be a heap of fans death riding Penrith if it was Penrith versus Waz, or Roosters if it was Roosters versus Waz. So, yeah. If Waz score, this might be the best performance by a team conceding 50. Yeah. I'm happy to agree with that. And I think they will score. I think they will. Alright, Healy. There to find Mitch Barnett. People hate Finns? Not that I've seen. Certainly not that I've seen. 6 more there for the Wires. So this will see out the rest of the game if they hold the ball. Aaron Clark hits it up. 45 left here. Healy to find Vaimonga, who knocks it on, unfortunately. And it will stay 46, plays 32 with only 35 seconds left on the clock. All right. So we've got Cronulla versus Parramatta coming up after this final game of the round. We'll be streaming that obviously as well. Gates kick off in only 3 minutes, so not a lot of time, but anyway. Glad there was a knock on. This game didn't deserve a fade. I agree with that. It would have been funny to see, though. Would have still been funny to see. What they're doing, this is a scrum right now. You get scrums after knock-ons. Really, they're just kind of being annoying towards the referee. That's all there really is. Ball being thrown around here a little bit by Newcastle, but it's going to die there. Look, a valiant effort from the Newcastle Knights. I want to give them credit. You know, scoring 32 points, a man down, is decently impressive. But great moment for the New Zealand Warriors. They were significantly depleted in terms of injuries and the like, but they got the job done there. Jet Cleary, a win on debut with his dad and his brother watching, the rest of his family, of course, as well. Wonderful stuff. Alrighty. Well, the next game is going to kick off in just a moment. I need to get that all set up. The Warriors theme song, which is this, it has a lead-in time. You know, I always do this lead-in period. Well, regular viewers of the stream will know. Where I will, like, switch to the back in a moment graphic on the beat drop, basically. But this beat drop takes place 19 seconds into the song, which is right now. See you in a sec.
Giving it you everything now every single time. It's a hard and sort of mindset of an individual kind. It's a matter of having something to believe. Realizing when the chips are down, you gotta be in the win, y'all. You won't believe the things that we can do. All of the things we do with our bodies. We do